Welcome to TechBrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to load data from multiple text, CSV or flat files to SQL Server Table with file name by using a script task in SSIS Package. It is really important. Sometimes we load a lot of data from different files and we don't really know from which file this data came. Think about a scenario where you get the data from your one vendor. He's in Asia and he sends you customer text file, and there is another vendor in Europe. He sends you customer file as well, but you load to the same table. You never know from which customer this data came. So what you want to do, you want to load the data, but there should be one column that should save the file name. By looking at the file name, you should be able to tell like, okay, this is a European customer. Maybe you get something like this, EU, the European Union customer, let's say, and this is your, think about that, this is your Asia data or North America. So you can have multiple files. Let's take this file, make a copy, and just change to the North America. This one. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this copy part as well. Shouldn't hurt. All right. So we have three files, and if we open any of the file that has three columns, we have ID, name, date of birth. That's what we need in our customer table. We need to create that with this definition. We have one line or two lines of data here, or a couple of records. We are going to the SSMS SQL Server Management Studio, and we are creating customer table, DBA customer, ID, name, date of birth, and this column name is file name. I'm going to create this table. These three columns will have actual data, and this is going to have the file name saved in this column. Let's take a look on this one. Tables created successfully. Great. Now let's go ahead and create our SSIS package. Go to SSIS Packages tab, right click, new SSIS package, and here we are going to take a look and rename called load multiple or single flat files with the file name. As we are saying multiple file, you tomorrow might get only one file. That's fine. As long as you have the files here in the folder, it's going to loop through whatever it is, and you have to provide what type of files you want to load. That is going to take and load to the table. Open the SSDT. Let's create some variables so we can make our package more dynamic. Source folder, that's where our files are sitting. So this is going to be string. Okay, log folder, that's where we would like to put the log information in case error happen in the script task. Now the destination table, that's where we would like to write the data from our files. All of the files have the same column header, and here let's say we have file extension that will let us choose what type of files we would like to put, like let's say .txt. We can put .csv or maybe any other extension, whatever you have, you can use. Now we are going to say file delimiter. That's going to be comma in this case, but in your cases, maybe tomorrow you will have a pipe, so you can define whatever the file types you are getting. Now we have one more variable we need is called archive folder, because that's where we would like to move our files after loading into the SQL Server table. Go to the folder here. Let's copy this path. Now we go to the SSDT back and put the values here. Here we have log instead of source. I have log folder here, and this one is my destination table. We know that this is our DBA and .customer. I'm putting the parentheses right here in front of the around the table name and schema name. So there could be scenarios where you have a table name with space or with hyphen, so it's a good idea to put the parentheses around your table and schema. And the archive folder, so it is archive. Okay, so we are ready and we have created the variable. I will suggest create a configuration for these variable, so you can change the value in configuration table or XML anytime, and this package should be able to take that and act according to the configuration values. As I said, that you might want to load CSV files, or you might want to load the files with the pipe sign. Here in the connection managers, go ahead and create a new connection. It will be ADO.NET connection. I'm going to delete the old, create the new one. Here we will select SQL Server instance name, and then we will be selecting the database where our table does exist. So TechBrothersIT, test the connection, fine, and let's rename this connection manager to some reasonable name. Once we will use this in configuration, it should have some better name, not Amir PC, because everybody has their own PC in the office, so you don't want to have Rohit or Amir or anybody's PC name in the configuration. You want to have DB connection and your database name. We are all set here. Let's bring the script task. Open the script task and add all the user variables. So this one, and then we have this one, this, and another one, and finally we have a source folder. Hit OK and click on edit script. Right now I do not have a video uploaded as I'm making the video, so I can't really put the link in the description. I need to take you guys to the TechBrothersIT.com, and we have a written script there. I'm going to put that link in the description once I will upload the video, so you can take from there, and you don't have to go to TechBrothersIT.com and go to SSIS video tutorial. Once you are on TechBrothersIT.com, you will go to SSIS video tutorial. And I will suggest you anyways visit this place because you have a lot of real-time scenarios and test cases you can run and learn a lot of things. Here under the first you have a script task heading. Under that one you will be going to the dynamic text and CSV heading, and there you on the third number you will have this link how to load data from multiple text files or CSV file to SQL Server Table with file names. Click there, and you can walk through the post and use this post and create your package if you can't watch the video. If you can watch the video, fine, keep moving forward with the video. First of all, we will be copying these namespaces that we need to add in our script task. Go to the namespaces tab here, and then go to the last line and paste your namespaces using system.io and system.data.sql. System.io, as we are reading the files from the operating system, that's where we will be using different methods and instances from there. And here we will be using system.data.sql client as we need to write the data to SQL Server. We will use different methods from these classes and these namespaces. Now delete this line of code in the public void main because I have already written this code as part of our script. So go to the next part and copy this whole script till step 5. So you have it, and then we are going to go back to the script task and paste right there. We are going to walk through this entire script and understand what exactly it is doing. First of all, I'm declaring a variable called string datetime. Why? Because I want to use this datetime or timestamp with my log file. If my package fail, I would like to create a log file with this datetime. So I'm creating this variable on top of the try, so I can use in the catch block. Now I'm trying in the try block. We are declaring some variables, and then I'm setting the values of these variables by using SSIS variables. Why? I could have used these SSIS variables, but everywhere I have to write dts.variables and this whole complete path with the dts.variables user source folder whatever .value.to string. That will make our code lengthy, and I don't like that. You can declare the variables and then have the value saved to these variables from SSIS variables. Make sure your SSIS variables names are correct here. If you have even they are case sensitive, make sure you have the proper case in your SSIS package here and when you are typing them here. Now we have all these different variables. This part of the code is going to read the list of the files from this directory. So we have directory path source folder, okay, and it is going to read asterisk dot extension. So in our case it is a file extension is .txt, so it is going to read all the text files. If you would like to read the CSV files, you will be making change here in the file extension variable, and that will come to the configuration once you will deploy to the QA UAT to your production. But in test you will can go simply to the file extension variable and change it. I will change at the end of the package and show you guys how it works. Now once we read those files, here we are going to loop through those files, and every time we get a new file name, this will be complete path with folder and file name. Now this part can be you can put outside of the for each loop, as we are just using the connection manager for our radio.net. And this line of code tells us, okay, declare a new instance of a SQL client and use this DB. I'm gonna change this one. This is going to be connection underscore TechBrothersIT. In your case, whatever the connection manager name you have you will use this one. Okay, now we will be using this instance when we need to write the data to the table. Fine, and this is where it is pointing to. Now we read the first file, let's say, and then we are declaring a variable, say counter string line. These are two different, this is integer, this is string type variable. Now we have system.io.streamReader is equal to source file, and we are reading the data from that file. Once we read the data, we are using the while loop, and we want to read all the way to the end of the number of records or the rows. So it will keep loop until we have the records. And here we are saying if a counter is greater than 0, that means it is not the header row, then we need to insert that data into the table. We say insert into table values and use that line or row that we got from the loop. So it is reading one line at a time, and then we will remove that file delimiter. Let's say it's a comma with the comma and colons around it. So it will build an insert query. So let me remove this comments so you will see what exactly it created. So it created a complete insert statement for same way we do in SQL. Let's say if I'm here in SQL, how I create my insert statement. Right click here and then go and say insert to, and you see that this is exactly we are creating here, insert into table, and then we have column list, and then we have values. If we don't have the column list, it means those all are the column we are getting. In this case, as the file names are exactly same like our column header is exactly like our table columns, so we don't need to put that here. Once we have just the values, it is going to take it. But in last video, I did actually took the values and build the column list, because sometimes you have less columns or maybe the column order is changed. In that case, if you want to take it, fine. But this scenario, we are considering all the columns comes the correct order and they are always going to be the same. But if you are interested to watch the video, go ahead and watch the previous video. That's where we have a less number of columns or order is changed. You will be still able to use you will be able to handle that situation in a script task and load those data for matching columns. Now here once this is built, we are going to run that query and insert the data. Counter will be plus plus, so it is going to add one value, so it will keep looping till it's the end of the line. Great. Now once that's end of the line comes or the last row is read and inserted, we will close the connection to the file, and then we will move that file. So file.move file name, that's where the complete source path of a file, and then we're saying archive folder. Okay, put in the archive folder / and here we are building the name of that file. So from the file name, I replace the source path. I don't need anything, so I replace that path entirely with the blank, and then I remove the extension. After removing the extension, I added to the underscore and then added a date time, and then I added the extension back. Okay, now if everything goes well, success, we will go to the next file and grab it and perform the same steps. If something goes wrong, we are in the catch block. So catch block is going to read the exception, and then here we are writing that error to the log folder plus error log underscore date time. So this log file will be created, and whatever the error information that will be inserted to that file by using this line of code, and package will fail. Okay, great. We are all set up. Now I explained you guys everything, right? No, one thing is missing. One thing is missing here. If you see I'm building a query saying insert into table values. So this line of code is coming from that line it is reading. Let's say this line it is reading, right? So this is the line it read, and then it take these put the commas around and colons around here, single quotes, and then change to the comma. So that will build the first 3 columns, but I also need the file name to insert, and that's the part I was missing here. See, I'm adding the file name and putting the single quotes around that. So file name will be added as the 4th column in our case. If you have more columns, it's gonna be just fine. It will be last column when you will create the table, create with your all the columns or in the order the way you get in the files, and then last column should be file name. All right, let's close it and test it now. I'm going to copy these files in a main folder, just as we are going to repeat our testing, and let's delete these ones, paste it here. Now in the source folder right now we have 3 files, fine, and I'm going to run the package. Start it, and we are only reading a .txt file. If there is any other file, .csv or Excel or any other PDF file, it's not gonna read it. So see here, insert into table values 1 and file records and all that, and at the end we are inserting the complete path for the file. I could have just used the file name, but somehow I want to get this whole entire folder path. Why? Because it is important. Sometime maybe those later on you decide there will be different folder path. So if you go after 5 years, you would know that, oh, this was the folder path where initially we start putting the files, and later on we change the folder path in configuration. So that gives us a lot of information. I suggest putting the folder path, but if you are not interested, no big deal, you can always change it. And remember, you can replace the source folder path. Let me show you where I did. While it's opening, I'm going to show you the records are loaded. So you can see that the records are loaded from these different 3 files. We have 1 record in each of them. So Asia, North America, and Europe. That's great. Now we have file names with the folder path in our table and records as well. Now let's go back here, and if we are only interested to have the file name, not the folder path. See here, I'm saying file.replace, and this file.replace. This is the path this is the only script you need to take. So from the file name, replace the source folder path with the blank, and replace the extension if you like. Yeah, in case let's say you don't want just the path, you can take this part and leave that rest of that there. So right here, if you want to say .replace, and here you will be providing source folder path, comma, blank. Now if we read on this one, what's going to happen? It is going to replace the folder path, and you will have only the file name. Let's truncate this table, or not truncate, let's compare that what happened. It is going to load the records though. Again, I need to put these files. Remember when we were loading these files, they were moved from source to the archive after loading. Let's go ahead and take a look. And here we can see those 3 files are right here, Asia, North America, and Europe, and date part is added to them. So you can tell okay, what time they were loaded. Now that's great. I really like these type of packages where you have everything in one package, and especially in one task you can handle so many things. Now put these files back in the source. Copy source folder, paste. Okay, well, instead of just testing with the just the file name, let's change these extensions as well. .csv. Yes. So remember, if we decided to change the extension tomorrow, and we say no more txt, we will get .csv files. So you will get these files, and the only thing you need to make a change in your package is come back here, and in the file extension, instead of .txt, .csv. That's all you need. Okay, run the package. It should read and load the data, and finally it should See here we have a backslash here with the file name. That's a part of the complete folder path. We can remove that if you want, but let's ignore it for now. You can always say replace backslash with the blank, the same way I did there. Now if we go back here and see, this is source. If we go to the archive and these CSV files, you can see right there. See, these are the CSV files, and they are archived after the data is loaded. Let's go back and take a look on the data. As we did not truncate, so it should have 6 records, and you can see this backslash is still coming. Let me show you where you can remove it if you want. These things are not a big deal. Like, you can do it really quick. I was getting one email from one of the guy. He said that he need to load Excel sheets to the database. I sent him the link, and he said that he's not good in scripting. I was totally shocked. Like, okay, you are not good in scripting, that's fine, but script is there, just copy and paste and start using it. I really appreciate if you guys try to understand what I'm doing here, and then change according to your small requirements, because there are there will be 100 scenarios with this. Oh, I just want the file name, I don't want the extension. So fine, no big deal, you can have it. So if we will say, let's say dot replace, let's close this one first, dot replace, and now you can go ahead and put let's say we want to replace this one with the blank. So this is something that you can do, find that string, or if you don't want the extension, here you can see that I have removed the extension. That's where you will put and it will take care. I will put the link in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Last thing before I leave in this video, I'm going to tell you one thing. You have seen that this can be used for text and CSV and all that. If your files come with the pipe sign or a tilde, you just have to make these changes here. You don't have to worry about anything. You just make the change here in the file delimiter. It will be able to handle those type of file. Here again, extension depends on you get the CSV file or text file, whatever the extension you have for those files, you will put it here. Thanks very much. I will see you guys in the next video.